We just started. But we can add because we at least have a minute to do whatever. Because of course there's gonna be
Yay!
ads because George R. C. Amos has ads, and which ones are ads?
I'd suck.
That's what we get for Jeff Bezos wants his money.
He needs more yachts.
Can you just play Yacht Dice instead?
Why does it remind me of the what developer was that? The one that bought all the cars and then laid off their employees?
Huh?
Was it a Bungie or something? The guy that bought like a
Oh yeah,
like a
the Bungie
super,
HBO, yeah.
yeah, he bought a super expensive car and then fired like 220 employees or something.
No, he bought the cars when Sony acquired them.
They also
Still,
fired a lot of people before they would actually get their bonus.
Yeah, that's the scummy part. AKA the typical, you're fired now. Because then we don't have to pay your bonus. And the people are like, well, that's wage theft.
Jesus.
Luckily, they can't do that here in our country because they had to prove, without a certainty of doubt, that firing you was the only way.
Yeah. We have rights, thank
Yeah.
God.
We have worker rights.
Woo.
Meanwhile, in Canada, just getting swindled out of our house and homes.
Yep.
Man, it sucks.
Also, Greece is going to impose a 6-day work week.
Well, screw you too, then, Greece.
Mm-hmm.
I know where we're never moving to.
Well, I wasn't going to move to Greece ever, so don't even bother. Ah, ads are over. So now we're doing the official intro. So after 2.5 minutes of talking about
Politics
for a
and
bit-
whatever.
Hello everyone! Welcome to DnD with your Dungeon Master Kotlol. I am your Dungeon Master Kotlol, who always makes the intro awkward. I think I succeeded this time. I think I outdone myself. Joining me
Have you?
Yeah.
Joining me today is our ragtag crew, the motley crew of adventurers, containing the following people: Ozias,
Huh?
Okay.
containing Raz,
You didn't see me.
containing Lier,
Not done in the changing room. Call me when it's my turn.
containing Alona,
Hello, everyone.
and containing Poppy.
Ah, what? Sorry, I was reading.
Okay. Also, this part does not contain any kobolds. Don't worry, they're not going to be any kobold shenanigans. No goblins contains either.
Hey, DM.
What?
Sorry to bother you, but you got a little something on. Yeah. It's still a little bit on mustache, on the lower lip. Yeah.
Leave my mustache
There you go.
alone.
Tis a glorious mustache.
Mine's getting better.
Okay.
I will surpass you. Oh, speaking of,
Oh, your camera doesn't work again. Ah! It's the light of Elendil! That's right.
yeah. See my glorious face, my new like.
And
facial-
disable video. There we go.
Unfreaking believable. After all this effort of making myself presentable, even with the iconic mimic shirt.
I hate mimics.
Anyway. Last time, the crew entered this pocket dimension of Erica to start a vigorous training session of a week. And in the first day, they discovered they have a place of, well, the place is pretty much self-sustaining. They have enough foods and drinks. The place is sort of alive. There's a library containing all the knowledge that Erica possesses. Please stop stealing books, Raz.
Doesn't sound like something I do. Twice.
And everyone starts doing their own goals. Poppy wanted to get a familiar, but she might have to give up something to get that. And Ozzy has decided to make his own power of life more functional for the group and learned life transference. Good job on that. Alona was looking for some own books to learn more hemomancy, and with a bit of help of Erica, learned to do blood infusion. And congratulations, you're an hemomancer now.
Ooh, am I still high?
How about me?
Yeah,
That was
you
sweet shit.
learned a bit of besides practicing some of your spells and succeeded once. Congratulations on that. And you also learn how to double cast as a bard, but it requires a specific instrument out of specific materials. Have you read them?
I believe one of them was Dragon Bow.
Yeah. You need several things. You also learn the tuning fork trick. You also learn that Erica can't cook for shit and helped her cook a meal. Hooray! Who knew that the ancient genie that never had to fully take care of herself as a mortal doesn't know how to cook? Anyway, with that said, after a bit of learning ancient mysteries, you all slept, and it's now day 2 from the week you have in training in this realm. So 6 days are left. You have a long rest, so remember that. So what do we do?
Are we still in the training arc?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we
only
still
took
have
one
6
day.
days.
You had a full week to train in there.
Yeah, we're playing out the whole week. Okay.
Well, we're gonna probably fast forward some bits. So if I think a scene is not relevant, I'll just say skip.
All right.
So, second day. What do you guys want to do?
Hemomancy.
One at a time, please.
Well, Lona was going to do hemomancy, so I think I'm gonna go because I have to check with Erica about how to do the summoning, right?
Yeah, it's bind someone here to learn to create familiar correctly.
Yeah.
I
so
did check. For one thing, you already have a bond, so to say, with your weapon. But so if you want to go full warlock familiar, you're allowed to give that up to change it to the familiar pact, if you want.
Oh, okay. So I can't.
You can't have both.
Okay, so that's in my actions or what? What?
No, that's in your build.
Oh, okay.
That's to do with the Elder's Invocation, but you already have your Pact Boon, and your Pact Boon is that of the weapon. But I will allow you, in this case, for your training art to change that if you want to. Don't you stop.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it would make more sense for me to just make a familiar out of it.
Okay, so we're gonna change that. I'll change that for in a moment. So you want
Yeah.
to train if you're familiar? You get familiar
Yeah.
out to Verica. Alona wants to learn more hemomancy stuff. Aeon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, now that Raz has come to a bit more of an understanding over the library usage,
Mm-hmm.
I want to go in. I want to find, like, essentially track down all the level 1 spells I can and copy them into my spellbook.
Okay, so you want to get magical knowledge.
Yes.
Osius.
And just general training, some prayers, and making sure everyone stays healthy.
We can't die.
Yeah, but you can hurt yourself
Yeah.
Mhm.
badly.
Yeah.
Meditation, prayers, and keeping everyone healthy. Lier,
Yes.
what do you do? What are you gonna plan to do this day?
Well, was gonna also ask you, where did you put the stuff I needed?
What stuff?
The list of things.
Yeah, I have it right here. So you mean the special instrument that you need to forge to make a to make that
Yeah.
special focus for you.
I don't know how high I have to go in the chat to see it. So,
I have it
but
right
apart
here.
from that, oh,
You need a bone of a dragon. It has to. You need gold and an arcane gem and the blood of a divine being.
okay. Going to just
And if you fashion instrument with those ingredients, yes, you
put it
can
back
learn the
into
double
the,
cast.
Can you get the side chat so I don't have to ask?
Side chat?
Yes. Please. Well, not side chat. But
Here.
yeah. All right. Just copy paste. Okay. Thank you. Just gotta put that here. And for today's training, I think I'm just going to keep trying to practice the spells that I want to learn. Such a think I'm going to try learn synaptic static early.
Okay, so you're gonna trying to learn a spell before you're ready. Got it.
Yes.
You know the heavy penalties on that.
Oh yes, if I try it before I'm ready.
Yeah, Fluff is also with you, Alona. Correct. You've also fed him just fine. Okay, so anyway, first things first. So let's see, which order should I take it on? The easiest one to go with. Okay, so Raz, let's do you first. So you go back
Okay.
into the library, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you find yourself at the book that's the table of contents. What do you ask the book?
How do I steal you properly?
I'm not very good at this off of me, but it's not a bad idea. I'm going to ask it for a list of all the lowest level magics that aren't cantrips.
So you're asking it about. So you're asking it magics.
Yes.
Well, congratulations. That's a lot of pages. That's at least You're in it.
Okay.
You're gonna get at least like over 100
Right.
pages plus. Be real.
Ah, right, specifics.
It may not be smart.
Lowest level non-cantrip wizard spells.
So non-cantrip, wizard spells, and what else?
Lowest level.
Lowest level. It takes a moment, and that is still at least 100 pages.
Wizard spells for beginners. Damn it.
Oh, 1 page.
Is it the book Wizard Spells for Dummies?
There are in total 5 books,
Getting the stinks feeling this library doesn't like me.
and they're all in the same section.
That's easy.
I'm going to use Princess Prestidigitation, inscribe a copy of the list onto a piece of parchment and go find the section.
Okay. So you learn that it's somewhere the section, even though everything is ordered in a certain specific way, you learn that it's in at least a section of 752.
Okay,
So-
I am.
You decide to head that way. You find it. Don't worry. You don't need to do a perception or investigation. You just find this section just fine. And then it's quite a long haul. It's quite a long way. And there's books galore, of course. And you are gonna look for the beginner books. Now you need to roll an investigation check for me, please. See which books you find them.
Let me guess, it's pulled me out Wizarding for Dummies, Baby's First Arcane Spells.
Yes.
Investigation check, yep.
Yeah.
Thank God that's gone up.
27. You go along this hallway, you look around and you see all kinds of things. Books about memories, books of things. Then you see books about wizards and their castings. And finally, you find the 3 books near each other. Incompetent wizard. What?
I thought there were 5.
5 books. Did 5? Did I say 5?
You said
Yes.
5.
5, yeah. The 5 books are right there. The first one is Wizard Incompetency. Do not cast outside your range. The second one is a book about a wizard. Not another book about a wizard in training. The third one is about. Well, ironically not a wizard, but it does have it probably does contain wizard spells. Is pact powers. How do they work? Considering who she is, you wouldn't be surprised that someone might try to make a pact with her. And the other 2 are simply books about spells, like what kind of spells a wizard can learn, and the last one is spells beyond wizard's grasp. Everyone's DMing me right now.
I'm going to remove the 5 books from the shelf and go find a table. See that? I also presume this library basically had me search the entire freaking bookshelf before all 5 of the last things at the very end.
So you just grab the 5 books and want to study them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty then, I need you to roll 5 investigation checks, but
Uh-oh.
3 of them are the first 3 are advantaged. and the other two
Advantage.
aren't because you already have some wizard know-how. The last two, however, two of them, however, are not. And if you want to know which books those are, that's the Warlock book and the spells that are not within Wizard's grasp,
Okay.
which makes sense.
Okay, so advantage on 3 and straight on 2.
Yep.
Right, here we go then.
Nice.
I haven't even like.
That's also saying nice. Oh my god! He's going at it. He's going at it. He's cooking. He's cooking. Ah.
Oh.
Ironically, the lowest rolls are for the ones you will probably didn't understand anyway.
Well, 14 is probably going to be the Warlock one.
Yeah. So you go through the books, and I'll just go in lowest to highest order. Of course, you said the Warlock book. You look at the Warlock books, like, well, apparently Warlocks do have certain spells like wizards, but I have to make a pact or something, and this is a pact of a genie, so yeah, you're like, I get it. She lended her powers to someone, and they became a Warlock, and were trying to cheat themselves up the wizard ladder, and that didn't go well. Not interested. But I can't make a pact with her anyway, so who cares? In the second book, you see all kinds of spells, like, oh right, clerical spells, druidic spells, some specific warlock spells. Of course I can't use freaking Eldritch Blast. I'm a wizard, not a warlock. I don't get my powers from that. Paladin spells. You also see other spells that are also out of your grasp, and it's just like, wait a minute. Spells that are forbidden because of Mistra. And you start reading it a bit, and you're like, oh, so there are more levels of magic, but they're forbidden by the gods, so that mortals don't fuck up the balance between realms. Makes sense. I would like to break them, but maybe I shouldn't. But that's interesting. And then finally, the Incompetent Wizard book. Like, yep. So apparently anyone who really has the components and knows what to cast can indeed cast magic above their level, but in doing so risk their own body and sanity. And you're like, and this wizard decided to just try to copy a genie's wish spell and failed miserably, which also resulted in some wild magic shenanigans. But hey, at least the wizard also had the powers of a sorcerer at that point. Wild magic sorcerer, but you know, sorcery powers nonetheless. And lost a lot of his sanity. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It makes sense. You learn to check some more things. There's a few level 1 spells in here to use, but not really something you're looking at. As for the other two books, you keep looking them over, and you see all kinds of first level spells. A wide range of them. Especially in the third book, the one you got net. You're like, I can basically with these two books, I could essentially write down almost every first level spell as a wizard. That will bring a lot of utility, but can I have them all active at the same time? You take the one more book one time. There is a way to be doing so, but it puts major strain on your own book. Possibly burning it completely. It requires a powerful magical tome to be able to have all these spells at hand, and a lot of pre-knowledge and mental fortitude to even pull something like this off. So you're like, I do have a magic book. So maybe the only limiting factor would be myself. So yes, you may write down every level 1 spell in DnD 5e to learn as a wizard. But that will take you the whole day. You will not be able to train for the rest of the day.
Imagine learning all wizard cantrips.
Okay, to officially add them and have them ready for use. I do
You still
believe
have to
they
prepare.
to
You still have to prepare them. You do not have the ability to prepare them all.
No, but they do have to be essentially magically inscribed with the right ink, the right components into the spellbook.
True. But considering where you are, you probably can easily find that. It will just take you all day to do so. And maybe all night even. You know what? Let's roll that.
Sure.
I actually rolled it for you. No, it's also going to take you all night.
Uh, has Erica ever had coffee before?
It might be in her kitchen somewhere.
I think I'm going to need to go and find a lot of it.
And now I have to do some experimentation.
Yeah.
You know, if I can sit there and magically transcribe, given that my awakened quill will let me write them faster, which will still probably take me all night with that into account. Yeah, I'll start doing that.
Mm-hmm. So you're just gonna take the rest of your day writing everything down, going upstairs to get coffee and eating, and then also probably supplies for your ink, and you're gonna have quite the writer's hand the next day.
Fair enough.
All right, you're willing to take that. You're willing to get 1 point of exhaustion for this. Got it, and probably cramped hand. If that is acceptable, then it's your day done. You have...
I mean, unless I can use prestidigitation to make a copy of the words on the page, feed that into the spellbook, it's still going to take me ages to
No, you have to
magically
write it
fit
down
that
still.
in my
It can't be. It
physically.
can't keep,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
because it will fade. It will fade when you after the presentation is
Right.
done.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Okay. Yeah.
Like you could maybe prestidigitate something onto a book, but it will fade after a while. After a while, when the magic wears off.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. Next one should be Poppy. I'm guessing you're going to Erica first.
Probably, because that was the plan.
Okay, what do you ask Erica exactly?
Well, Erica!
You see her sitting on a couch holding a book. Hmm? Yes?
Well, I want to make this familiar thingy, but it's not working. Can you please help me?
Depends. You're trying to summon it into this realm, correct?
Uh-huh.
Alright, alright. She flips her page, reads it for a moment, and looks back. So you have you have the ritual ready, components, but you do not know which way. It appears you might have to change how you adjust your magic in general as well. It is possible to be done in this realm, but you would lose an ability simply to have a familiar. Do you accept?
Yeah, sure. I can do that.
Okay. She closes the book, puts it down next to her, and gets up. Follow me. She leads you to the main lobby, down the stairs towards, well, where the library is, where probably Raz is going in. And then, instead of going through the doors to the library, she goes to the golden door, puts her hand on it, and it opens. And inside there's a new room. And inside this room, there's just gold flooring, and it just goes on eternally. It's like when you're like inside one giant room, which is just a golden sky and gold tiling.
So it's basically the hyperbolic time chamber.
It kind of
For real.
reminds of a hyperbolic time chamber effect. However, a little bit further in the room, you see what looks like first roots, but they're all in different colors. They're red, blue, yellow, purple, different shades of all those colors. And they all flow into one area, all down into the ground. And she pretty much says, "Come." And you walk towards this. When you turn around, you just see more of this eternal floor, and only the door that you came in through. Still standing
That's
there.
kind of spooky. How does that work?
She hurries after Erica.
Well, this is one would say, the heart of the realm, where all the magic flowing through it comes in. In this place, one might be able to realign their magical abilities,
Okay.
or maybe send a message towards the outside. Though time dilation is a thing, so it might cause some issues. Either way, in this place, I believe you might be able to summon your familiar, but it will come at the cost of a power you already have. All you have to do is look at the different roots, which also look a bit veiny, and then it's like here, in this one, and you see a root that is fully white with black spots flowing through it. This one.
Okay.
Steps over to it. And then asks,
So, do I get to pick which ability I lose, or does it just take one?
It just takes the one that is necessary, and once you do, you may take the new power to call your familiar. In this place, it doesn't matter what kind of binding you use, as all bindings come pass through here.
Okay.
And just touch it with one finger once. Doing it multiple times may scatter your soul across the many realms.
Poppy reaches out very slowly and just pokes the vine.
The moment you poke the vine, you sense something. In reality, a second passes, but for you, you feel like an hour passes, but also a second passes, then a day passes, then a week passes, but also another second passes, and then your sense of time is getting scrambled. Everything is happening at once, but nothing's happening at the same time. It's an unfamiliar sensation, and before you know it, it feels like you lived a lifetime, and also nothing. The moment you come back to reality, you sense like you were reborn? Or the same. You're not sure. Whatever happens, that one touch pretty much shows that, yes, this thing, whatever it is, it will mess with your soul in a sort of way, and also your magical abilities. Do not touch again.
Ah!
Poppy just stumbles back and flops down.
That was weird.
Well, of course. When a mortal soul is ingested in the flow of all magics and realms, your sense of reality is temporarily shot, so to say. But it was the only way. But it was the only way for you to harness a new power without risking other problems.
Other problems?
Well, your power is unique in a way. And if you try to do it your way, it might complicate things for your own powers. It would be in flux, so to say.
And that's a bad thing, I guess?
It depends if you're able to handle it. I simply gave a fast solution that was without risk.
Okay. Thank you.
So, I will have to go into your warlock levels.
Go for it.
Oh, you still have a level 5 option keys, but I need to change your pact boon from Pact of Blade to Pact of the Chain, and then you may go into your character build and change your Elder's invocations as you like.
How does that work again?
Just hit the anvil on the right top corner, and then go to your levels and then class features on the warlock.
Oh, class features. Okay. Okay. Well,
Okay.
which one do we have to do?
Just on your warlock level, there should be Elder's invocations. You need to change. You can change those accordingly because you now have different invocations to summon the. You now can summon your familiar, but you can also now change your invocation to be more. Make your familiar more useful.
Okay. Do I get an explanation of these things, or do I just have to?
You have to look them up.
Okay. Okay. I'll do that. I'll do that when it's not my turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Now that that's done, let us leave this room, and you may try upstairs to realign your powers correctly.
Okay. I'll probably do that before I try to summon the familiar.
Okay, that is fine with me. You two leave the room, she closes it, locks it, and you head back to the lobby, and she heads back to the living room to sit there. And you, Poppy, well, you can now readjust your powers and then call on the familiar.
Yeah. Okay.
So, for you, it will not take all day, but I will end your turn here so you can do that real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna check what all these options are so I know what I have to do with it.
Alrighty then. Next up. Well, I'm not really sure how. Ozzy just want to meditate in prayer and keep everyone healthy. So you'll be last. If anyone gets injured, you can react to that. Is that okay?
Yeah, and just some general training, but that's it.
We'll roll for that in a moment. Helena, hemomancy training. How do you want to hemomancy train?
To try it with more blood components than one.
You want to go, as in, what do you mean with blood components? Do you want to do a very powerful blood bolt, or do you want to go use your blood infusion technique better?
Yeah, I'm sticking with the blood fireball, just trying to make it even more powerful.
So you want to go. So you want to go from your first hemomancy limit to already trying breaking that limit.
Yeah.
That is a
Limit
very
break.
heavily cost, by the way. Even trying a second blood component to it. Okay. So first up, you can cast Fireball. You want to blood infuse it. Where are you using your blood components? Is it your own blood?
So there was a fountain which can give out any fluids, including blood, outside.
Yes.
I can use that, right?
Yes.
That would make sense. That doesn't hurt me.
Okay. So you just want to use blood from the blood fountain, from now a blood fountain. Okay, that blood will be level 1 blood though.
Oh, okay, the low one.
Yeah, the lower one. Simply
It's
because
okay for the thing with multiple blood components. That's fine, right?
yeah, for training purposes, yes. So you want to do 2 blood components into a fireball. Okay, that's really, really, really taxing. So, okay, I can't even have you roll for that. I want you to roll 2d100s. Okay, okay, okay. So, you try to cast Fireball, and after changing the Fountain to Blood, you try to cast Fireball. Put the first infusion. This works perfectly fine because you understand the basics. Then you go further beyond. You make the Fireball grow bigger, and look even more sinister and sinister. And you're like, I can throw this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I'm gonna ask, are you gonna fully cast it and throw the fireball?
Yes.
Then I want you to make an intellect saving throw. Intelligence saving throw.
Yeah.
You do successfully cast it.
Okay.
Its power immense. It's damage looking vile and leaving quite a scratch. But inside your mind, you feel a bit woozy, a little bit dizzy. You've literally pushed your limits. You have 1 point of exhaustion.
Makes sense.
That's what you get for pushing a limit, because that's not just one level of hemomancy that you need. You need several levels, so you're doing something really dangerous. You're lucky that the 100 dice was on your favor.
I mean, you did say we can't die in this room.
No, but you can have penalties put into your place. So, you still have time to train. Do you want to do more training?
Yes. I'm gonna try it again.
Roll me 2 D100s. Okay. Okay. Once again, first blood component, easy. Second blood component. In your little fatigue state, your hand trembles a little bit, but it seems to have succeeded. You have successfully infused the spell. Are you going to fully cast it?
Sure.
Intelligence saving throw, but because of exhaustion, you have disadvantage.
Oh dear.
Oh, there it is.
Oh no. Didn't even need to throw
You
do the
cast
second one.
it, and you throw the ball, and it looks. But before you even see it land, you black out and pass out onto the ground. You just. Yes, max level exhaustion. You're technically dead, but you can't die, so you're knocked out.
And they're alone outside.
Well, you're there as well. No, you get one training session before you see her pass out. So yeah, we're gonna go with Lier next. And then Aussies can respond.
Just messages.
Not yet,
The
not yet,
healer.
not yet, not yet. First, your training session, first training session. Because it aligns with her training session. So, what do you want to do exactly?
Well, I was gonna train synapse static,
Okay,
but
okay.
I'm debating whether I should train physical aspects if I even have time for that, or if I should just train the magic.
You have to decide that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and train magic, very least a minor success for the day, and then go do something else.
Okay, so you're gonna cast it or just train yourself magically and mentally to fully cast it?
I'm going to train. I'm not gonna fully cast. I'm not stupid.
Okay. You may roll an Arcana check for that. To see if you can get grips to the magic.
Alrighty then.
Just an Arcana check.
I know. I'm looking at my score. Ability modifier, actually. It's a slash for this one, right?
Yeah. 15. You decide to go into your training and work on the spell. Get your mind, body, and soul all aligned for this spell. Playing your music a bit, getting the notes right. You sort of get it, but casting it, you're not 100% sure it will go well, but you know, practice makes perfect. And then in the distance, you hear one fireball go off. You're like, you see in the distance Alona. Ah, she's busy. And then when you're about to do another training, kaboom, another one goes off. And you're like, well, she's still busy at it. And plop, you see her passing down on the ground.
Hilarity ensues. I pull up the nearest markers.
Do you have markers? No, you don't have markers.
Do I have anything I can write with?
Check your inventory, please. I know you want to be funny, but you need to have the item to be funny with.
Okay, I don't have it, but I can go ask somebody else for it. I'm sure they have pens inside. But I will help them inside, though. Just
Okay.
dragging them inside in the front area.
In the
And then
lobby
I'm gonna
area.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go check for something to write on their face with.
Okay.
Hey, the first one to sleep at a sleepover.
Okay, you can go look for that. I don't think you have any idea where to look, so I am gonna
I'm gonna ask Erica.
Okay. Well, Erica's in the living room, and Ozzy, where you happen to be? Where would you meditate? A prayer.
Probably somewhere quiet outside.
Okay.
So I basically dragged the man out of you.
Okay. Do you know that? So you come in, you ask Erica about markers and that kind of thing.
Yeah. And how the library actually works. Unless I had that information already.
Well, you didn't. But you did ask, and Erica pretty much responds that Raz has something similar, and that the library should have a storage place to have such things. You really need to ask.
Yeah, but where does the library come from?
Huh? Is that what he asked?
Where does the library come from?
Yeah, where the library come from? She's just like, the library comes from all the knowledge that has gathered in my mind over the centuries that I existed.
So it's basically your memories.
Memories, knowledge, things I observed, things I've read. I can't, like anyone, I can't recall it all, so basically there's a magical library that does it for me. And if I need to recall, I simply ask. Also, I can see you lagging out there, buddy. Your camera's frozen for me.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Better? Oh, yes.
You're roboting a bit.
Well, it's improving your beats, so I don't know. Well, I'm still roboting.
Just type it in the chat because you're roboting a lot. Wait till your connection Or he just leaves.
And he's gone.
No, he's resetting his connection.
Okay.
There
So,
we go.
yay.
Discord.
Now then. So, muhahaha from hearing that, and I'm going to ask if they have anything to write with.
Simply go to a library. It will give you what you need.
Okay. I'm going to the library.
Okay.
Some paper and some writing material.
Bloop. It appears right in front of you.
Thank you.
So, first stop, of course, the Sleeping Beauty with the fireballs.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, I'm going to write magic duns on their forehead.
What do you
In
write
their
on the
message-
forehead? What do you write exactly on the forehead?
Magic duns.
Magic duds.
Yes. And cat whiskers. I'm drawing cat whiskers as well. And afterwards, I'm going to message our local healer that they're passed out in the lounge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go back in the library to write a little bit of fanfic.
I don't think you know how the library works, but go ahead.
No, but we can try.
Just DM it to me. We're now going to Ozius. Ozius, you are outside meditating, away from any noise and such, enjoying the golden sky, trying to reach your spiritual peak and pray to your goddess. You feel reinvigorated. You're focused. You can do it. And then Liar's message comes in that Alona's passed out in front of in the lobby.
Ozius gets up, walks towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Gast. Where is it?
Well, congratulations. She recovers 44 health, but she doesn't get up because it's an exhaustion pass out. So, when you
Got it.
notice this, you're like looking at this and you're like, did she push herself too far?
Grabs by the collar. Wake up!
Well, Alona, despite your extreme fatigue, your eyes do open, but you're barely awake.
You are
Okay,
very,
okay.
very tired. You should probably sleep.
Stop hitting me.
Okay, I'll stop hitting you now. Ugh. You should probably go sleep.
I am sleeping.
No,
Well,
you
well,
were, then I woke you up to... Ah. Why does it say magic dunce on your... What?
What?
You know, I'll just take you to your bed. Jeez. What?
What are magic guns?
Nuns.
No, just it's all a dream or something.
Guns? Lungs? Guns? What?
You're barely ready to sing this, Alona.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm just carrying her to the bed.
This will not backfire at all.
So, Alona, you're gonna need several long rests before you're able to fully function again. Basically, every 4 hours one will go away. So after 4 hours of rest, You're able to move, but you would still have 5 points of exhaustion, which is basically near death. Like, you literally died. You literally died of exhaustion. Congratulations, you're the first one to technically die in this realm.
Fun. Life goals. Death goals, or whatever.
Death goals! Let me double check if I'm correct. But yeah, you're basically, you lost your day technically by doing what you did. As I said, that's the risk. Let me double check if I can set your exhaustion levels correctly. Where did I put exhaustion again? Active conditions. Exhaustion, level 5. So, if you get up after 4 hours, you would have exhaustion level 5. But if you keep resting, you will get set. Thank you, Ozius. Thank you. So yes, that shows the consequence if you fuck up in this training. Just so you know.
Fair.
You're gonna need at least 20 hours. You need at least 20 hours of rest to get fully back up.
Elves. Ugh.
Anyway, with that, let's Ozius, with that, do you go back to meditating?
He'll do some battle practice, I guess, for the quarterstaff.
What kind of dummy do you spawn? Because you can ask, you can ask the realm for a practice dummy.
Yeah, I'll ask one that tries to block things
Okay.
magically.
So, in front of you appears a golden golem with a large golden kite shield. And he just holds his shield up, ready to respond to your attacks. You may now. So, how long do you want to train on this?
I can probably do 4 hours.
4 hours.
You know, it's dinner time, so I think it's really hard to tell here.
Yeah. Okay. I want you to roll 4 attack rolls. Just in general. It's not for the whole thing, but just to get an average.
How many turns in a minute? How many turns in an hour?
And-
Yeah, we're not doing that. I just want to have a nice average for his things.
Huh.
Good average. Good
Yes.
average.
Holy shit.
Right, so 1 hour would be 10 times 6.
Okay, then roll me 4 D100s.
4 D1. Jeez.
Yeah, it's for each hour. If it's exactly what you think it is. I'm asking you to roll D100 for each hour of your training.
Actually, for every hit, it would be 600 hours per hour.
We're not
like
rolling. We're
600
not gonna do exact math, my dude. We could do that for you if you really want to roll that many dice.
Hey, I'm not going to be the one to calculate.
No, but it means more man wants to fuck up. So, your average is about that. Check the calculation. Yeah, okay. So, Ozius, for your 4 hours of training, you... Bonk, bonk. You keep hitting the golem, you go with... Of course he blocks some attacks, but you do find some openings and openings and openings. In the first hour, you feel not much benefit. You're just doing it. You're just hitting it, miss, hit, block, miss, hit. You feel like, yeah, okay, I'm good. They decide to pick it up a bit. You still keep hitting him. Just fine. Same hit. But you feel like, yeah, this is how I have to strike. This is how I have to strike. Keep striking harder. Keep striking better. Be more accurate. Be better. Hit harder. Third hour, you're getting a little bit tired, but you keep going on and you're getting it more. You get better in the flow, better in the flow, better in the flow, better in the flow. You're like, this is it, yes, yes, yes. The last hour, you start missing more, you start hitting less hard. It's like, you've been fighting for 4 hours in a row almost. It's like very tiring and taxing your body, so you're like, well, I'm doing worse, I should take it easy now. Take a deep breath. You don't get any points of exhaustion. But you feel like the training, it did benefit you, but you didn't feel like you gained anything out of it yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, dinner time.
Back to Poppy. Poppy, did you check everything you need to check and change anything you need to change?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna finally try to summon the familiar.
Okay. After some meditation and some thinking, you're like, I can do this. I can do this. I get it. I know what I lost. What I gained is better for me. Let's do this. You may cast Summon Familiar.
Okay. Can I... Pretty sure I... whoops.
Yeah.
Just said it twice. Sorry.
Yeah. So... Alrighty then. You focus your mind and the magic flows naturally to you. You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel what you have to bind, what you have to summon. The creation of a familiar. Focus on it. You shape the image of magic. You shape the image of the creature in your mind. And with the right push that you now have, you summon your familiar into this realm. You may post a picture in general what your familiar is because you said it.
Okay, I was not prepared for that, so give me a second. I have to find a good picture first.
Okay.
Try to figure out which one is
I'll give it a moment. Okay. Okay, so you asked that. Leah. Leah, I'm checking your DMs. What is your investigation? What's your investigation at? Plus how much? I'm gonna do secret rolls because you want to be secret.
Okay.
In the library.
Investigation?
Yeah. Plus how much?
+5.
Okay. Because I will not tell you the results.
It's okay.
Okay, that.
what is it?
Attempt that.
Oh, this is actually it. Oh, okay. Did not know this version existed, but this is a good enough version.
Okay.
Can I roll the performance for how good it is?
Sure.
Thank you.
That's what you summoned. Okay, that's cute. Congratulations, you now have your familiar. You got cut off.
me.
See, all it needed was the right push. Congratulations on your new companion. Also, the reason I did that is because, well, the other reason I wanted the image is very simple. Where?
Ah, token.
What? No. Yes, token. Oh, it's a bit big.
Ah,
Don't
a
mind.
bit.
There. There's your familiar token.
I'm DnD.
Takes up the familiar and starts hugging it.
Okay. You've performed your thing. Anyway, Raz,
Yes.
I want you to roll a perception check. Even though I know you're busy, but there's someone else in the library with you. I just want to see if you can notice them. You do spot Lier, but you're not sure what they're up to, so you're too busy yourself.
Share, but I would like that club sandwich.
I'll get him real quick. He's in talking. Yeah, so
Doesn't realize that turning off the camera doesn't mute himself.
I think he didn't forgot to press. Anyway, Aeon, you do spot Lier, but you don't really know what they're up to and such. So you're like, yeah, whatever.
I've got work to do. That can
Yeah.
done.
So you only see
They're
them, but
probably
you
looking for-
don't know what kind of thing they're up to or at all. They're just being Lier for all you care.
She's looking for a book. You leave her to it.
So,
She wanted my help. She got.
Ozzy, you go eat?
Yep.
Oh, he presses the foot button, so I guess I have to unmute him.
What?
You're unmuted.
Okay.
Okay, I'm the only two people. So, Leo, with that book thing, that's your day done. The only two people of trading left are Ozzius and Poppy.
Well, I did what wanted to do, so I'm just gonna go and look for Raz and show him that I managed to do it.
Well, Raz does come up to the kitchen once, and since you're probably in the kitchen living room area, he does notice it and sees it. Raz, how do you respond?
I'll probably pass her on a coffee run or something. It's like, can't stop long. Have to. Your new familiar, I presume.
Isn't it cute?
It's certainly adorable. Yes.
Okay.
Ah, what the heck. And I'll summon my own familiar.
Mm-hmm.
If you dip it in hot water, does it make tea? It's a joke.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this. Like, weird joke, weird joke. Okay, you summon your familiar. I need to grab the ferret, 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 the ferret.
That's a fair and half.
Yes, a token, I believe.
Do I?
I probably left it somewhere. Give me a moment to find it. Ferret, the 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 ferret. Is it ferret? No, 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 no. Can't find it. Probably on a different map. Anyway, yeah, you summon your ferret. And what do you do? Okay, so
Yeah.
the two ferrets, the two familiars meet.
I mean, I've really got to go back to what I was doing, but I figure I'll just leave my familiar with you and they can hang out. Uh,
Your familiar is still limited to the timer. Remember that.
How long are they for?
So
1 hour.
no,
Okay.
yours is unlimited. His is an hour.
Oh, okay.
Because yours is a warlock familiar. They have unlimited time. His is a wizard familiar, the standard familiar. So they're the same spell, but because of the pact of the chain, your familiar can stay out indefinite.
Oh, okay, cool.
And that's why you can also change the L's invocations to give it certain buffs and allow it to do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess they can enjoy the next hour together. So
Okay.
Okay, so that's what you want to do for the rest of the day. Okay,
Yeah, Poppy's just gonna watch them play around.
for an hour, and then after that, you're just gonna train your own familiar a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, Ozzy, anything you want to do after eating dinner or lunch or breakfast or brunch or dinner?
After that, it's a couple of hours of training, and then time to relax.
What kind of training do you want to do?
Just some more combat.
Okay, how many hours?
2.
Two. 2 attack rolls, 2 D100s, please. The average of... Okay. That's... Well, I don't know, I need to calculate the average. So, you start training, and you are hitting quite efficiently. You're keeping hitting it, and you sometimes miss. Okay, it happens. Sometimes you get blocked. And the first hour, it goes a bit rough. It makes sense. You were probably a bit tired, and you just ate, so, you know, you don't go swimming for an hour after eating, so it's probably that kind of thing. You're just a bit full.
That's a myth.
It's, you know, I'm trying to make, it's a myth, I know, but it's a joke. Then the second hour comes in, and you're swimming, you're doing good, you're starting to understand things, I have one question. Do you focus more on hitting, or do you focus more on hitting harder?
Hitting.
So getting hits off. You decide to push it a bit further. You're like, I know how to avoid the things. I can see the openings. Keep hitting. And then when you're training down, you're like, I think I can finally aim with this thing really well. Your training was successful. You have gained a +1 to hit on your quarterstaff. Because you've been training that vigorously. But you are
Nice.
tired, and any other training will cause exhaustion. Period.
Well, it's time for after dinner something.
So you've pushed. That's your day done, and I believe that's everyone's day done.
How far
So-
are you?
So that is one day done. Okay. So that's one day. It's the day. Afterwards, everyone, well, except Raz, can get their another long rest. And you all feel accomplished in your own way, except Alana, who feels like shit.
Still sleeping.
And Raz, the next morning you do have 1 point of exhaustion. But you do have
Absolutely.
every level 1 spell in your spell book. but you do have 1 point of exhaustion. You do not get any sleep.
Alright.
You know
So-
when you're in a good game, but it's late, you don't want to get off. It's so good.
To be fair, it will probably take years for a wizard to get every level 1 spell, but because there's a genie who has all the centuries of knowledge, you have them all now. And also, by,
Yeah.
you know, infinite supplies, infinite genie knowledge, and the whole day to push yourself towards the limit. Yeah, you could do it in a day, but, you know, it's still taxing. So, we're now on day 3. Ilona, you've rested the rest of the day, so you should have no points of exhaustion the next morning.
Cool.
So you have no... So you can set that condition to 0. You've slept fully off as an elf. So probably as long as you want to not even feel 1 point of exhaustion. Alrighty. Okay. Ozius, what are you doing this day? I'm going to go into in different order this time.
We have to, meditate some more. So that's the first 3 hours.
Okay. Raz. You may be tired, but, you know, it's still another day of training. What do you wish to do?
Imagine my hand is absolutely killing me, so nothing physical.
Say what?
I imagine my hand is absolutely killing me, so I don't want to do anything that physical.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can also just relax the whole day. You know, take a nice long bath in the bathhouse. Do something else. Do something that's less physical. Whatever you feel like you can do. You can also say, I'm going to take it easy all day and then be fully recharged the next day. Remember, you can push yourself as hard as you want, but you can't die anyway. But, you know, you probably don't want to push yourself the last day, because when you come out of the realm and you're exhausted, that's not going to vanish.
Yeah, step out of the realm with 6 exhaustion on the last day and drop dead.
Yeah, then...
Well, that was a quick campaign, but
Mhm.
yeah, I think he's gonna take like easy for the first half of the day, and then I'm gonna go find Erica. So
So you're going to Erica?
yeah,
Okay. And you guys gonna chill there with her, or are you gonna talk with her, or ask anything?
so that magical library is essentially a collection of all your memories, right?
It's not my memories themselves, more like a collection of things I can recall.
Okay.
If I've witnessed it, it is written in there. If I've read it, it's written in there. If I've heard of it, it is written in there. That is how simple it is. That's how it works.
Is there any way to add to the library without you having experienced it first?
In doing so, you will not add any memories or knowledge to my mind, but it's still a library nonetheless, so the knowledge is there for me to access.
Well, I rather overdid it yesterday, so my hand is absolutely killing me. Respectfully, notice you don't really have much skill at cooking. Would you like to learn? Would you like me to show you what I know?
Considering I might still be some decades as a mortal, I do not see why not.
Fair enough. Raz doesn't know. Raz isn't like a culinary expert or anything, but yeah. I will spend the rest of day 3 teaching Arisa to cook some things.
Okay.
The basics.
So you're doing a nice deed for the genie that's mortal at the moment. That made this adventure end, and she'll be stuck in a mortal body. She can at least know how to cook. Ah, you're teaching her to be a housewife. How nice.
Rogues don't always take. Sometimes we like to give as well.
Wait. Are you teaching them how to cook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ask me later, I might write a few thousand recipes.
Okay. I'll let that play out. I'll just roll a few things. Z's going to go to the bathroom real quick, apparently. I think it is. Need to open Erica's sheet.
Could very quickly be a lesson in what not to do in the kitchen.
Okay, so that's just. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh dear.
Oh no.
So, I'll tell you the results for the cooking. 21, 11, nat 1, natural 20, nat 1.
Wow. Well balanced, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, we saw them.
120. I just find that's that 1, that 20, that 1. Like, the last rolls are just so weird.
I have a feeling that that's when Cecil when Raz was showing her, the Nat Ones was doing it yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, she's learning to cook. So that will be a point for Erica.
I don't understand. I was showing you how to boil the water. How did you burn it?
Okay, Alona, what are you doing?
What time is it now?
Huh?
What time is it now?
It should be morning for you.
Well, what time?
This is a realm that's kind of timeless, so you can't really say what time it is, but you would say it's morning.
Oh, I'll sleep in until the afternoon.
Okay, that's one training session less.
Well, they've also got the exhaustion, so.
Yeah, they should have no exhaustion, but if they want to sleep extra, they can sleep extra, no worries. Okay.
Yeah, bed is nice.
Okay, Leanne, what are you doing? Oh, you just tell me what you wanted to do.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually going to lean in on some things so I can actually get some progress done.
Okay, so you want to train. See, that's what you want those to train. Got it.
Yeah, there are 2 parts to training. One is automatic.
Okay. And what do you want to train exactly yourself? The other training?
I want to train my constitution, so how good I can take a hit and dish them out. So I'm basically going to train just fighting a dummy that also fights back.
You're basically training to take hits, correct?
Yes, because I'm fucking weak.
I'll tell you right now, there is training to get yourself punched, but there's also another way to train your constitution. And I think that's a more fun way for you.
Drinking?
Ingesting poisons. Drinking is indeed one of the ways.
What is this? Final Fantasy 2 or Romantic Saga?
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Well, I guess all of my training stuff is going in the kitchen. I'm just going to get shit-faced constantly with
Or
rising
you can
levels
try
of
one of
alcohol.
Erica's Nat 1 cooking.
I was about to say.
You know what? You know what? Let's go. While And I believe you read the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are 2 parts to training.
Yeah, the first training I'm gonna roll real quick.
I believe it's... How many pieces? 1, 2, 3. I think what? Is it 2 or 3 pieces I have?
Okay, well, don't worry, I already rolled, so don't worry about it. I already have my results.
Okay.
Okay, I have to write that down.
Alright. They're going to be doing that for the remainder of the time we are in this quantum dimension.
So, as you do your thing in the kitchen real quick, you're like, you smell different types of cooking, and then something smells awful. Not burnt, just very bad. And you see two pieces of food that look like fine. Like the first one, that looks delicious. The second one, a little bit less, but you know, it's edible. And then the third one, what kind of abomination is that? Oh,
It looks
God,
like something
that looks like...
I actually tamed in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks like a black slime with just miasma coming off it.
Mm-hmm.
What is this, a black pudding?
It was a difficult recipe. I am still not good at all of these ingredients mixing.
Well,
I am not
after
a
my-
hag of the forest that can mix things into a cauldron, thank you very much.
oh, is that what you think cooking is? Well, Raz, get me there cooking, and might help you later.
Okay.
Whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty then. You're gonna try the most foul cooking you've ever eaten. Let's see. Constitution saving throw.
Well, it's not as bad as zombie bacon. All right.
Eat quickly before it dissolves the bowl.
Yeah, I know.
And the spoon.
All right. So, what would you say? Constitution saving throw?
Yeah, you Constitution saving throw.
Alrighty there. Sorry. This is gonna be fun because my Constitution is saving is -1.
Uh-oh.
Oh wow, that's already a good roll.
You take the third bite. Oh, that's gross. You feel like you're gonna hurl for a moment, but you're like, nope, strength. And you keep eating it. And you're like, gotta get food first, get it first. You just down it. You just no flavor change. Just get it away. You feels like you've taken a punch to the gut several times.
Whenever black smoke escapes me.
You're like, oh. Feels like it. Whatever you put in there.
It's
You're
almost
like-
as bad as what my mimics eat.
You keep it together. You keep it together. You do feel a bit more vulnerable, but you're like, you're strong. Yeah, I can do this. I kept myself together. Okay, you feel motivated to keep training though. Passing this trial. You're like, all right. If my stomach can take this, my body can take this. Whatever I can take the next guy. Whatever I can take next, I can take it. You may not have. So whatever next Constitution training you do, you have advantage.
I'm sorry, what?
You have advantage on your next Constitution trainings. Because you have withstood the terrible cooking and told your body to fucking take it like a well, whatever you think is strong. All right, Poppy, what are you doing?
Just making some simple dishes for myself.
So you also see all the terrible cooking for a moment.
Yeah, I try not to pay too much attention to it. Just
Okay, so you make some food and get some nice food in. And you're not training otherwise?
no, I'm just taking a break for the moment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, that's your first training done. That's your first training's done. Guess the next training. Let's go back. Aussies, what are you doing for your next training?
Hmm.
How many times am I gonna roll this today?
Basically, your next training session depends on how you're gonna train, what you're gonna roll for.
Oh, I'm gonna continuously go for Constitution. As long as they're practicing cooking, I'm gonna finish the plate.
Do you need to? So you're gonna do drinking, or you're gonna do or you're gonna try to
Whatever comes first.
whatever you feel like you're doing.
If they keep cooking, I'll keep eating.
Well, she cooks something amazing, and then afterwards she cooks something just as vile.
On with the booze and the horrible meals.
Okay, that. Oh no, so
Just note me how many rolls that I should do.
okay. So what are you doing exactly, Osius?
I'm just going to do some 4 hours of combat training again.
4 hours of combat training. Please, you know what to roll.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it show the full rolls? It only shows the damage for some reason for me. Yeah, it only shows the
Oh
damage.
yeah.
Yeah,
The hell.
Weird.
yeah.
Okay, so I put in. It's a hit bonus, but apparently it's messing it up now. Great.
Great. Well, as long as you know what that it has another +1 to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beep, beep, beep.
8, 18, 29. Okay, okay. So your average is calculator. No. That's the wrong way to calculate, you dumbass. Just take everything. 8.
No, still not. Wow. My hold to hit is no longer working.
Today, the Golem puts up a better fight. He starts blocking more. Despite your aim being better, you figured, yeah, he probably adapted. I'm gonna keep hitting, gonna keep hitting. The first training session goes awful. He just keeps blocking, just keep blocking it. You're like, no. I know how to hit. Just have to keep pushing. And then you start training more. You start to get more into the rhythm of things. You start hitting it more. It's a bit harder, but you do get the training done, and the last 2 hours go swimmingly. You feel like you get it. Hitting things is hard, but you can hit things. And the training feels like it paid off some fruit. But you're not fully sure that you're there yet. You might have to train a bit more.
I think it's time for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Thaumaturgy. Extra loud voice. Time for lunch!
Everyone is here.
Ah,
I
And he
almost
has
want to
the kitchen.
drive food comatose to the air.
Okay. Uh-huh. Alona, you're awake. What are you doing?
Well, I heard lunch, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yes.
I am a bit hungry. I don't know how long I've been asleep, right?
Mm-hmm. There. Well, you do see in the living room, Leah about to get one of the most foulest meals you've ever seen, and I think like 5 bottles of wine. Would that be
Right.
acceptable? That's a yes.
Uh-huh.
And you also see, well, Raz helping to cook. So yeah, that's what you see. You do see in the when you enter the kitchen the most delicious meal you've ever seen. Like holy crap, whoever cooked this is a grade A chef. Definitely something different from Erica's cooking.
And I get some of that.
Mm-hmm. It is absolutely delicious and divine. Like it is touched by the cooking gods itself. Smooth. The flavors run perfectly. And you're just who cooked this? It's just
And who did?
So what else do you do?
After lunch. You mean?
Okay, you also get something to eat. And then Poppy, what are you doing exactly?
How far along in the day are we actually? How much time do we have left?
You basically still have half the day left for training.
I'm just gonna go out and do a bit more training with spells then.
What kind of how are you training your spells?
Well, apparently I'm supposed to be able to, because I. Hold on a second. Gotta get that thing. What's it called? Yeah, because I have investment of the Chainmaster, I can now use spells through the familiar, and I can also give it a boost for flying and swimming.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm trying that out.
Okay. You decide to train with your familiar and the spells cast with your familiar. You focus and you do things. You align yourself with your new familiar. Try to get used to things, and it works out fine. Your spells, they all land. It all just comes natural to you.
Yay!
Seems like you're fully in tune with your familiar. All right. And Raz, you're still helping Erica to cook.
Sure.
More cooking.
Am I aware exactly how long Poppy's had that familiar out? Like,
Well, it's been at least 6 hours by then when you ask Erica. Did you be response? I believe it's been 6 hours.
I can only manage an hour at most. What the hell am I doing wrong?
The difference is her powers come from somewhere else than a magic spellbook. And thus, the connections that bind her familiar are different than from yours.
Seems rather unfair, but okay.
Well, you do have the advantage of being able to access any powers written in a book, unlike her, who has to just simply know it and has to relearn it every single time.
Fair point. Very fair point. Oh.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not exactly all that clued up on magic being a wizard. Kind of stole the spellbook I started with.
Well, I would offer you the same, that I've offered Poppy a realignment of power. But, as I said, you're giving up power to gain another power.
I feel like I haven't even begun to tap into the power I potentially got. So,
He shrugs.
not, not entirely sure what I'd be gaining would be worth what I'm giving up yet.
And once you know, I know a way. But in doing so, remember, you're giving up something for something new.
Hmm.
And it might be kind of unpleasant of an experience.
Yeah, I kind of like the spellbook I've got now.
Okay. Now
Yeah,
we
back
start-
to cooking. Let's see what we can do.
Well, I got some good news for Lier. Tina won it again. It's 15, 9, 24, and Nat 1.
Okay, so how many bottles of alcohol am I getting to counteract the good rolls?
Well, you have now 3 bottles of wine. So, first the first fruits are coming, and then you first have the second bad thing she cooked in front of you, and you're like, okay, let's do it. Roll me a Constitution saving throw real quick on that on that third bad food before the third one.
20 baby!
Well, I don't think we need to roll any more. You have your advantage. There's now 20. You're like,
That's why I rolled 2.
oof. You're like, no, I don't need to vomit. I don't need to vomit. But I do want some wine, and you drink it, and you're like, yeah, you know what?
I know
Ah.
cooking.
And you're like, no, I don't feel anything. Bring it on. And then a little bit of cooking.
Is that the worst you've got?
And of course, after a little bit of time, another terrible meal comes your way. You're like, give me. I can take this. Roll with advantage.
We were doing desserts. How did you burn ice cream?
Okay, so that one would be a
14.
14, yeah.
You just eat it. You're eating it. You're like a little bit queasy. Sip of wine. Yeah, it stays down. I can take it. I feel like you can empty those bottles of wine without getting drunk. Do you dare attempt it?
Also, Moon, are you also in the kitchen or the eating area?
Yes.
Just so you know, Lier's not wearing all the mimics, so there are some mimics unaccounted for.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, Lier, you may roll 2 more concentration saving throws with advantage.
2 more concentration throws
Yeah.
with advantage?
Because you're going crazy with the
That's
wine now.
18 and that's 17.
You down it all, you down it all, you down it all, and a little bit of tipsiness, but considering how much wine you drank, that's the best outcome. You just feel this little bit tipsy, but otherwise, no, you feel fine. You did it. You've conquered the limits of your body. You may remove that -1 from your sheet and make it a 0.
Wait, so that's you're giving me +2 to my basic score?
No, just removing the negative modifier.
I can't really do that without adding the thing, though. If it's permanent.
Just to write down a note that you don't, for Constitution and Favors, you don't have negative anymore. because you're more mentally and physically resilient, but you're not. Your constitution has not gone up itself yet.
Yet. I'm going to strive for permanence.
Well, that's gonna take another day of training. But your body is toughing it out, at least. At least you got rid of the negative modifier for the time being.
Yeah.
Baby steps, baby steps. You can't really, hyperbolic time chamber without a year of training. Alright, also you get a nice meal, and Alona, you still have one more thing to do. Anything you want to do after dinner, real quick? Giving you one more chance?
After dinner, lunch.
Lunch, whatever.
I am going outside to the blood fountain or fountain, whatever. And I'm going to fill 2 of my glass bottles with blood.
Okay. You've done that.
And okay, so 2 blood components. Probably should not do that anymore. Just stick to the one. Right. I'm going to cast Wall of Fire with 1 blood component.
Okay. You attempt this, and you just cast Wall of Fire fine with the blood component, in making the flames seem way more sinister than they normally look.
Cool. Can I do 1 more spell?
Oh, yes.
Then I'm going to see what happens if I cast Fly with 1 blood component.
Flight?
Mhm.
You want to cast Flight with blood infusion.
Sure.
Roll me a d4. Because this is actually not the point. It doesn't matter. This is not supposed to have much effect, but that's why I'm going d4. Yeah, your movement speed has doubled in flight.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
And I fly a couple of laps and then return back.
Mhm. And with that, I guess that's everyone's day done.
Mm-hmm.
That's day 3 done. Give it up for day 3.
Yay!
So after a long day of training and experimenting and everything else, one moment. The next day arrives. You all get your long rest. Anyone who has exhaustion, they're now gone. Anyone who has spell slots are all back. Fully healed, long rest. The next day, Lier, what are you doing?
Constitution training!
What?
Constitution training and doing the same thing for the mimics because for those, that's for the remainder of our stay in this realm. There you go. Specifically.
Okay, that's already. How are you gonna tackle the training?
All the alcohol.
You're just gonna keep improving your constitution by alcoholic training, not by training by training the inside of your body, not the outside.
All right. Well, I'll guess I'll do the physical training because if I fill myself too much, I might explode.
Mm-hmm.
So, outside I go for some physical training.
Okay, that's in a moment. Osius. What are you doing?
Well, guess I can go back to some more training.
Okay, combat training.
Yeah.
Alona.
I'm gonna try to contact Garrix to see if he'll help me defeat my father in any way.
Got it. Poppy.
Just going to the library to see if there's any skills I could potentially learn to increase my familiar abilities.
Okay. Aeon, Raz.
You know, I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to see if there's any way to extend the duration of the ferret without having to resort to warlock magic. I'm fully expecting to find nothing, but I'll have a look.
Hmm. Okay, so that is 2 of you are going to the library. 1 of you wants to contact the divine entity somehow, and 2 are doing physical training. Okay, let's do the physical trainings first. Ozius, you may go first.
Okay.
You know what to do. Turning on the same goal.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck you.
To 25.
Yep, that's 25. Aha!
Aha, there it is. It was unavoidable. Luckily we're doing the average, not for each round. Okay. So. It's a good thing we're not using that once it's full training. And okay. Still not, it's still a good average, so don't worry. And D100s.
Yep.
Okay. I'll just say it right now. I'll just make it very brief. You are training away. You have. You keep from fighting. It's another 4 hours fighting, and it's just. It is taking a toll on your body at this point. Because you've been fighting for so many hours in a row, technically. With some rest, don't get me wrong, but you know, the body is still being pushed to its absolute limit. And after that long of a training, you're like, okay. You sit down for a moment and contemplate what you all this training. And you're like, I'm aiming well. How do I improve? Moon, what would Ozzy's improve at this point? Better aim or try to hit harder?
Hit harder.
Okay. You're like, if I hold my staff like this and aim like that, I could hit harder. So you decide to get up, decide with all your might to attack the golem one more time, hitting it, and smacking it hard enough that it does a quick spin before turning towards you, and you're like, that's it. It's not always, it won't always work, but at least like this I could hit harder. Yes. You may add a +2 to damage.
2? Jeez.
Yeah, you get 2 extra damage for that.
Well, done.
But you do get 1 point of exhaustion from that training session because you have been technically training almost every day of the last 2 days physically, and you know that's more than 8 hours of combat. So at that point, you're gonna feel a bit of exhaustion.
It's like riding a horse. You only feel the pain the next day.
Mm-hmm. But you can still train on, but it's just 1 point of exhaustion. What do
Yeah,
with it
that's
what you will.
just disadvantage on ability checks. It's fine.
It's fine. Lier, I'm guessing, how are you going to train your constitution physically? Are you going to get yourself punched? Or are you going to do something more physically that could exhaust you, but you know, you toughen it out?
I guess stamina training works as well, right?
Technically, yes.
Yeah. Basically, I'm gonna play tug of war with a dummy, I guess.
Okay.
Consistently.
One of those golden golems appear, and then a rope appears, and he holds it like this, and you start tugging in return. You're not trying to beat it, you're trying to stay in it as long as outlast it. So you're not doing strength. You're specifically doing constitution, so I want you to roll one Constitution saving throw. See how far you get. So just flat D20 for you now. Just roll D20 because you don't have a modified point.
Yeah, I'm just kind of
6. Rope burn, rope burn, rope burn. After a bit of training, you're like, I need a tougher skin than this.
And I would say definitely heal myself if need be.
Yeah, you don't take any damage, but you did get a bit fatigued from and a bit of rope burn. Do you want to get some gloves?
I can make my own, but honestly, let me see. Do I have a? I got hemp and rope, rations and box, bed rope, backpack. Yeah, I'll want some gloves, I guess.
Okay, you take some gloves. That rope burn won't fatigue you again, and you try again. Roll Constitution saving throw. See how much you hold out.
Something right. Double 6.
It happened. You keep pulling, you keep pulling. You didn't let go this time because you have gloves, so you don't have the rope burn, but it isn't. You just don't feel like you're just holding on tight. You're just barely holding on. Do you wish to push further to see if you can get the training done correctly, or do you decide like, no, I could actually plus ultra? You're gonna go for it. Constitution saving throw. If this fails, there are consequences. You decide to do this, like, no, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And you hold out, you hold out, you keep holding out, you keep holding out. Almost there, almost there. Last Constitution saving throw. Do it in force here. 17. You're like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. Eventually you feel like the time, you have more than enough time. The gun just lets go, and then you let go. I done it. I done it. I'm a bit tired. You have 1 point of exhaustion, but you do gain 1 point in Constitution because you did held out.
Like 1 point of Constitution from the score?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yay.
But you do get 1 point of exhaustion because it is very exhausting training, let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to rest for what I can after that.
Okay, probably for the rest of the day. Success plus 1 con. Okay. Alona, Garrix, how do you want to contact Garrix?
I've checked the library. The best way to contact him.
Okay, so you're in front of the thing. How do you ask to contact Garrix?
Didn't the library give us anything we need?
Yes,
did
but you
that
gotta
work?
ask the correct questions to get what you want. If you just say contact Garrix, you're gonna get a lot of results. So you're gonna have to ask specifically what you want. Like a Google search.
Hmm. How to make Garrix mad?
How to make Garrix mad. No results.
Darn. That would have been a
Remember,
good way
this is
to
Erica's
contact him.
knowledge, so Erica might not know who Garrix is, or maybe how to specifically piss him off.
Well, there were a lot of results for Garrix, right? You just said that.
No, I just told you you have to ask something real quick. If you said contact
Oh,
Garrix,
okay.
it will just give some random results. You could just say how to contact a divine being. Could be a result, but that won't help. Like if you want to contact Garrix specifically, it comes up blank, and especially when you piss him off, it comes up blank.
Okay, then contact Divine Being would make sense.
Okay, you get at least 10 results. And the closest one is in aisle 55.
What if I ask for contact a divine being the quickest way?
Same results.
Oh, okay. Sure, I go to aisle 5.
55.
55.
Close enough.
And you just navigate yourself way there, and there are several. Despite this aisle place, it has less books than everything else you've seen. Like, that's odd. If it's set by years, then this year was very uneventful for Erica. And the moment you enter the aisle, you spot the book to your left. Early.
Take it.
Early. You open it. You read and you start reading through it. I need to make a religion check this time.
Religion check.
Religion. Divine beings has to do with religion, so you need to do a religion check this time. You read this book, you flip through it, and yeah, it says how to contact a divine being and how to stay in contact and everything. But the point of view is not from a mortal, it's from the being itself. If someone tries to contact the divine and how it is received from the divine point of view, or in this case, well, as you can imagine, it's a book that just says how the Jinn would respond. And well, who you know is Jinn, it's Erica. You know this is all Erica's memories and knowledge. So this is all from Erica's point of view, and it pretty much you look for it and you pretty much come to the conclusion that when one prays to a divine being, any type of divine being, it sends a message into the ether, the spiritual realms, everywhere. That message just gets spread, and depending on which divine being in general answers to it, depending on the intent of the person, their alignment and everything, it will arrive at several divine beings, and then the divine being decides to respond to it, and the first one to respond gets that connection. In this case, it was someone who was poor in a far state where there's a city above the clouds, floating next to a mountain that's chained to, and the peddler at first seems like there's someone poor and they need money and they are hoping that someone will grant their wish and everything, but deep down, Erica in this case, foresaw his heart and knew that even though the peddler is in need of things, his intentions of the wish is greed. If he gets the things, he will not do nice things with it. He will try to rule everything, and he will try to be greedy. And, well, as a genie, that's her cue to, try to grant his wish, and put a penalty on it. The monkey paws effect. Giving the genie wish. Like, okay, here's all the riches you want, but you won't get what you exactly want, which is the power you want. You just get the money. And you can't do anything with it. And you read through the intricacies. It's like, okay, so it's a prayer. You have to send it to an ether element. Any location element also will help increase things. This is why they're places of altars. Considering this was a city in the sky, you find out it's more wind elemental, air elemental, and she's technically air elemental. That's why she was able to respond faster. And you're like, so, and you try to think. How would it work with Garrix? Well, considering where you are now, you pretty much figure out it's gonna be hard to contact Garrix in this realm specific, because everything is golden. This is basically Erica's realm. So if you would pray to a divine being, the one who will most likely receive it is Erica herself.
Fair enough.
So what you can decide, do you want to try it, but Erica will get it, and then Erica will know what you're doing, or would you probably ask Erica and inform her what you're trying to do for reasons?
Yeah, that last one sounds better.
Yeah. Okay.
And I
Then
could ask Claire if he knows a bit more about, if she knows a bit more about Eric's.
Garrix.
I mean, he did come with a meteorite and or two. I tried to call him of a name.
Hey!
Or you
Go
could
back.
ask your cleric friend how he prayers to his divinity. Maybe that could also help. I mean, it does say that clerics have the best communication with their divine beings or warlocks, because their powers are bestowed to them from their gods. Paladins also, but paladins comes from their oath, clerics from their gods, and warlocks from their gods, from the patrons. So you can
Try to talk to Erica first.
you gonna go with Erica first?
Yeah.
So you go to Erica. She's, of course, this time she's not sitting in her living room. She's actually she's actually drawing on a piece of paper. It's not like a piece of paper, she's drawing on a large canvas, like she's painting or something, or at least with a pen, making a sketch. What do you do?
Pretty.
Huh?
I say that's pretty.
It is simply to pass the time. The art of creation. Yeah. It keeps my mind from growing dull. How can I help you?
This what you usually do when you're at home?
Considering my constraints, it is just another way of keeping my mind occupied.
Fair enough. I'm trying to contact Garrix. I've been in touch with him a couple of times and wanted to see if he wants to help me.
Garrix, I need to be recalled upon him. What kind of being is he?
Basically, chaotic evil god of fire.
If you tries to recall for a moment. There are many like that, but are they a djinn of some sort or some other being? Help me picture it.
I'm not even sure. He just responded when I said fire a couple of times.
So at least the realm of fire or flames is a fire elemental chaotic evil. Does he wish to burn down anything?
I think he kind of agreed with me on that. Yeah, always a good idea.
So I can safely assume that that was not a fire djinn. While they have a taste of destruction, it's more methodical than just burning down everything. I think I know how to contact him. Of course, praying in here, your total friend has been doing that quite often. I simply have to let those slip by. But there is a spot in this place where you could easily try to contact him. However, in doing so is inviting him possibly into this realm. I have no
Should be
worries
okay
that
with
he
me
can.
doing that.
I have no worries that he cannot do any harm in here, as I am both. It's because of the cost of what I've given to this realm, and I do believe he might have to pay the same penalty if he would enter here.
That makes sense. So where do I need to go?
Follow me. She puts the pencil down, and then helps you downstairs towards the library, and she opens up the golden door.
Oh dear.
So yes, Alona, you enter the place with eternal golden skies and eternal golden floors in front of the roots of this realm. Many colors passing through. If you want, you may roll an Arcana check on it. The reason I didn't let Poppy do it because there was a different reason for that. But you can probably figure out what you're looking at.
Poppy probably wouldn't have figured out anyway.
No, it doesn't. It
We'll
doesn't land
do
in
an
our knowledge
Arcana.
levels. You have no idea what you're looking at. It looks very magical, but you have no idea what this is.
Oh, it looks cool though.
It looks cool though. And Erica leads you towards it. This is what I would call the heart of this realm. And as this is a realm of magic, all elements of magic must pass through it at least once, creating what you would see here. You may not touch it. Touching it would bring disastrous results upon yourself. You might
Thinking
have
about
your
touching
soul
it now.
your soul might be projected across the astral realm. You might get into contact with something more vile. You may upset the balance within your own body. You might completely change into someone else. Maybe a different life of yours in the past or the future. Wherever your soul may lead. So, please do not touch it. But, as you know, Garrix is a divine being that cannot contact beyond the veil that protects the material place of where we are. This place is a slight exception. This is one of these places where it technically flows naturally through the veil. And thus, this place is the best place to send prayers or contacts outside the veil.
And it's a way prettier place to paint than where you were just that in the living room.
Well, in the living room, it will get filtered out. This place...
So, paint for you.
I'd say you have the highest chance of success of reaching this Garrix. In this place specifically. Though, if he's able to trace your prayer and is willing to come through into this realm, he may do so as well, following the natural guidance that you give him from your prayer.
How much fire can this place handle?
She smiles and then points to a red root with an orange flamey substance going through it. See that? That is a direct connection to the realms of fire. If you would try to burn this place, it would do nothing. But that vein will attract more.
What should I do with the vein?
Do not touch it. Do not try to blast it. It will only spawn more people into this realm. Fire elementals to be exact. Or those aligned to fire that wish to enter this realm for some reason or another, if they can even sense it. But by casting fire on that, you will attract attention to it. Thus, beings that wish to come through will try and break through that vine right there with using whatever they can. But they will be bound
Which is
by the
direct-
rules that are set on this realm specifically.
So I contact Garrix by not blasting the thing, but by directing the message at it? Or?
In a way, yes. Or whatever he is. As I said, all these veins all lead to different elemental realms and planes of existence. Some life and death, some fire, water, some the Fae. the draconic realms, wherever. It is
You
where
would
all
not
magic
advise
must
me to
flow
do
through.
So if I cast a blood fireball at the fire vein, Garrix might receive it.
If he is in the fire, if he's in the elemental plane of fire, yes, he will notice it. But also any being in the elemental plane of fire will notice it.
Okay, well I can try.
Do note that whatever comes out will be your responsibility. So I
Sure.
do recommend to know where your Garrix is situated at the moment. And she pretty much steps away from the vein.
If only somebody had sending.
Okay, then I first just try to message to the vein. Garrix,
For the
you
elemental plane of fire?
son of a... Yeah, you son of a bitch, are you there?
You're just randomly messaging into the vein, you son of a bitch, are you there?
Garrix! I said Garrix, you son of a bitch!
Well, you send the message in there. Takes a moment, no response.
Garrix, sweetie, are you there?
Garrix, sweetie, are you there?
It's been 87 years.
No response. Nothing.
I look at Erica. Does that mean he's not there, or that he just ignores me?
Well, I have no idea what you told him. If you'd angered him, he would have responded probably. Those with high egos would probably send a retaliatory effect. But I think whatever you tried to send into the ether there, the realm of fire was not interested, or didn't respond. Or maybe the person you're trying to reach wasn't there. Cannot be certain.
The person you're trying to contact is not available. Try again later. Thank you.
You may roll an insight on how your messages were received in the elemental plane of fire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing this.
You have no idea what went wrong.
You know what? I'm gonna cast a blood fireball at it.
Okay, are you sure about that?
Only one component, though. Yeah.
Okay, but I'm still asking. Are you sure you want to do this?
I see people nodding. Yeah.
You decide to throw a blood-enhanced fireball at the vein, towards the elemental plane of fire. The vein simply absorbs it. It doesn't explode. And
Aw.
what you weren't expecting it to burn it down?
Why would it burn it down? It's literally the incarnation of fire.
Yeah,
And then I wait.
takes it. You can see Erica looking at you. Oh, you went there, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Well, you actually went there. And for a moment, the vein glows and a portal opens up. Seems you got someone's attention. And out steps a man dressed similar clothing like Erica. His skin red hot, his hair on fire, and then when he fully steps out,
No.
his skin turns brown and his hair black. And he looks around. I see. Congratulations. You've got the attention of an Ifrit. And you
Well,
see
what?
the man looking at you. The two of you. A realm of wishing. Someone casted a very interesting bolt of fire into the flow of flames, and I came to see. He looks at Erica, then looks at his own hand. Is this your doing? Erica goes, it is a complex set of rules, but I am partly responsible. The other is the one who guards over the area of material plane where we entered. He looks at Oid. Fine then. And who was the one who threw that spell into the ether of flames?
I was so expecting to be like, who threw that in my living room?
Well, that was me. I was trying to contact Garrix.
Garrix. Yes, I know of him. Destroyer. And you would think the Destroyer of Flames was hiding in the elemental plane of fire.
I guess he wasn't.
Foolish child. No, he does not reside in the elemental planes of fire. Well, fire is his favorite way of destroying things, and we appreciate his way of destruction. He's a dragon, and he does not even reside in the planes of the dragons, as Tiamat does not allow that. His destructive ways are too aggressive for our liking. He was banished to Pandemonium, where he resides.
Who are you?
I've no interest in telling you my true name. I am your which elemental plane do you belong to? And she pretty much says, air. A genie. I am similar to her, but fire aspected.
Well, I did want to ask Garrix if he knew a way to enhance my powers. Do you want to help?
Just casually ask.
That'd be fun.
You wish to enhance your power by fire.
I needed to defeat someone evil.
And you see Erica shake her head. Well, the person who you are speaking with right now, they are, how would I say this? Always interested in things like revenge. And he nods. Oh yes. Revenge. A classic tale. So, who do you wish to burn in agonizing flames?
My father.
Your father. And what did he make you want to pursue this path of destruction?
Made me do things I'm not proud of. He held me captive, tortured me, did experiments on me, barely got away. And now he has my aunt.
Oh, sense the vile things you want to do him, the hatreds, the malice. I can see why you would want to contact someone as Garrix to destroy things. His flames burn everything down. Complete destruction, similar to that of demons, which is why he presides in Pandemonium. But we of the Ifrit, we believe, that our flames are meant to be tempered. Destroy only those we care about. Yes, you will do nicely. But at this moment I am undepowered. He looks at Erica. Is there a way for me to regain my power? She just shrugs. If you wait out the timer that we're stuck in here, you can follow us into the material plane and you will be on your full capabilities. Do note that some abilities do not work, as it is blocked by the protector of the realm. And let me say one more thing. You might get intercepted by one of the protectors of the realm. Very possible. I am not fully sure if they would respond. But you can still make a bond with her, and well, that bond will usher you into the material plane. You nods. Then how did you get to the material plane? She responds, I was simply there already. I already was in my full form in the material plane. But to influence it, I had to be mortal, or have a bond with a mortal. I simply decided to go against having a bond and make myself mortal and bond to my new mortal incarnation. And the Ifrit smiles. He says, the Ifrit person smiles. Ah, clever.
Imagine
Alright.
talking to your cousin that you never met,
Yeah.
but you're similar in sort of snootiness.
Yep. Yep. Fine.
Those are genies.
Fine then. He looks at the portal, waves at it, and the portal closes. I shall await the timer. You. He points to Alona. Your name. Now.
Lona. What should I call you if you don't want to say your real name?
For now, I shall be your flame of vengeance. Call me whatever you
Flame of
like.
vengeance it is.
Vengeance it is.
F
He extends his hand
O V.
towards
Fuck.
you. He
He's-
extends...
of vengeance. Off.
What?
Off.
What do you call
A
him?
flame of vengeance. Short, it's FOV.
Foff. So, FOV. Field of view. He's the field of view slider, people. So he extends his hand. He extends his hand to you. Do you shake it?
I do.
It depends.
Okay.
Can you see it with your FOV slider settings?
If you wanted to piss off Garrix, that's how you do it. Change allegiance.
He shakes it. Then with that, the pact is sealed. Congratulations, you have now a bond with an Ifriti, who you will now name Faf.
I was gonna call him Flemmy.
So, should I explain what an Ifriti is real quick?
Yes,
Yes,
for the
please.
audience in the back.
I have played Final Fantasy.
That's how you break.
So, Alona. Ifriti are basically what Erica is, but from the elemental plane of fire. Where Erica is more neutral nature, this one's lawful evil. it means there are certain rules he will abide to, period. But he will always try to bend the rules a bit in his favor. And yeah, at this point he's willing to bend the rule in his favor to get into the material plane so you can have revenge. So there is going to be a cost to this eventually when the bond has been fully done. Because that's how they work. They're similar to devils of D&D in a way.
But they're more, I'd say, pure intention. You could pretty much guess what they want.
Yeah, they're not. He's not going to deceive you. He's just going to say, "Okay, you want my power? I want this. That's what. This is what you. That's what we get. Deal, deal." So they will immediately tell you what the cost is. They will not trick you.
They're not as bitchy as devils.
I take him to the material plane and he helps me get revenge. That's the deal.
There's probably going to be more to it later, but right now the deal is struck that you get him to the material plane, and then the deal will be continued further.
Okay.
You just had to do something risky.
To everyone. Should introduce him to everyone. Just take him into the kitchen and not say anything.
Yeah, you all go back out, and then you notice that there's someone new in this realm.
Hey, hello now. Who's the hottie?
Wait, this kitchen was voice activated. Marshmallows!
You get some
On a
marshmallows.
dagger. Put some on a dagger. Hi there, big guy.
He doesn't have fire right now. He's the same kind of mortal body that Erica has. So he just has brown skin and black hair.
He's tan, just like
Shouldn't
how I
you have
like him.
fire?
Help yourself to some of the cooking.
Are you
Nice.
like a mental construct of this place, or did you come from the outside?
He looks at you from the outside.
Ooh.
Erica pretty much says it. He's an Ifriti that Erica got the attention of in the heart of the realm.
Oh.
What is the heart of the realm?
Just like any magical place, all elements must flow to one place, and the heart of the realm is that place.
You managed to contact somebody from the elemental plane of fire and bring him here? Looks at Alona.
Basically.
Oh, is that the-
Heart is really pretty, by the way.
I'm gonna need you to show me that place tomorrow, but
Oh, is that the place with the
hey!
plate?
Yeah,
There we go.
Erica nods to just as nods to Poppy's statement. Yes, it's that same place.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm not touching the vine again.
She hugs the or familiar.
So,
Might as well just inform you all, it is indeed a place where all magic flows in this realm flows to and from. And also it is all in contact with every elemental plane, every elemental realm and such, so that all magic can flow through here.
oh, plans are hatching.
It's
Uh-oh.
also how I could access this realm whenever I need to, wherever I am.
Okay.
Puppet's here to help us. To help me. We'll stay for a while.
We will discuss the cost when we're in the material plane.
Indeed.
Well, remind me, I think I missed it. What do we call you? My very attractive fellow?
Like anyone, I hide my true name.
Of course. What did they call you?
I simply call myself the Flame of Vengeance. Though, I believe your companion has named me something appropriate to it. Alona? She simply calls me Fav. And it will
What?
do.
Flame of vengeance. Fov. Makes
Oh.
In
sense, right?
another language, it could be twisted in fauve, which is basically an equivalent of a feral large cat, which is pretty intimidating. Well, I guess that works.
Mhm.
In any case, welcome. If you need any assistance from another fellow outsider, do tell.
Okay. Anyway, we still need to do the Raz training. So Raz, your turn. Before I forget, what do you want to do exactly? Were you going to ask the library first?
I was going to consult the library whether there was any magical means to extend the duration of the familiar without resorting to warlock.
It does give several results. At least 2 pages of results. How do you want to narrow it down? How do you want to narrow it down?
I was thinking, sorry. Arcane means for wizards to extend familiar duration.
It means 2 books come up.
I'll take it.
One is in aisle 110 and the other one is in aisle 672. Do you take the earlier or the older?
I'll start in numerical order.
Okay. So you head to the earlier age. And you look around for the book in this year. You eventually find the book. You look at it. No, you open it. Okay, let's see. Arcane means. Okay, this is how the warlock does it via the pact and divine and using the elements from their pact. That's how they do it. So for wizards, they have to be replicating some sort of pact. It can either be done by... What's this? Okay, so one way to do it is by having a different familiar altogether and having it be linked by a powerful be the essence of a powerful being from other realms. So like a fragment of a powerful being, arcane being. However, by doing so, also it's like allowing such a being to have a foothold in the material plane. And read. For example, by summoning by making a familiar shaped after Tiamat, you would summon a dragon whelp that would essentially be a link to Tiamat. The familiar would still act on its own and still listen. However, if Tiamat takes full control of it, it will do whatever it wants, and if the user and familiar becomes empowered, it could allow the being into the material realm at full power. Don't think that's a good idea.
No, Raz is putting that book back on the shelf.
It essentially it is literally how a familiar works for a warlock, but instead of you having the pact with with a with a powerful being, it is in fact the familiar that is the pact with the powerful being.
Yeah.
And is essentially a fragment of that being into the material realm. And of course they gain more power. Eventually they can just break through. So you better hope you find a nice person to do that with. Spoilers, that is highly unlikely. Most people who wanted to come into the realm that way are not the nicest, the powerful beings.
No, out of character, there is one being I know who might consider a pact like that Razza doesn't like. So,
no.
Okay,
But you do know that this is something Erica learned. could possibly mean that Erica might have tried doing this herself to get inside the realm.
Hmm.
That's why it's in the earlier years.
Right. Okay. I'm going to try the later book then. Now I've realised these books
Okay,
are essentially past the future knowledge. That's helpful.
you
Okay.
look through the book. You go to the realm, you find the book. It's quite a thick book. You open it, and you read it. And not only does it describe one arcane method, it's many methods.
Mhm.
In fact, there's so much methods. How much did you learn in that 1 year? And you just try to figure it out. I need you to roll an investigation check to find out how she knows this stuff. Like, where did she learn it?
Oh, the shelves are organised by ye. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Thank you. Um, investigation. Sorry, did you say investigation? Or,
Yeah, investigation.
yeah. Okay.
Nat.
Holy shit!
Here we go. You learn the fact that Erica, despite being 500, at least 500 years old, this knowledge, everything she's learning, this was during the time of the Archmages. Everything you're learning here,
Oh.
this is all Archmage knowledge that she picked up along the way, and how they also had familiars. In fact, some later techniques was binding familiars to humanoid bodies, and that didn't go that well. In fact, now that you think about it, oh, these are the early experiments for the race that became Poppy.
Oh.
And now you understand why a race of archmages created a race of magical humanoid beings, and why they were so subservient but eventually rebelled. It started. This is how it started. So you're like, we're not using those methods. What are the other methods? And then you start reading about arcane callers, Pact of Blood and Ruin, and all kinds of methods about how a familiar could need stay longer with its user without resorting with warlock methods. And you pretty much learn the best way for your ferret is for it to wear some sort of arcane collar that is invigorated with the Find Familiar spell. Like, you put the spell into the collar will keep recasting it when the timer runs out to keep the familiar where it is. So first you need to find a collar that can even store such a spell, and then also make it strong enough so it can be recast every time.
Okay, having noted that from the book, I am going to pull out a parchment, a quill. I'm going to write down everything this mentions about the arcane collar, just so I have something to refer back to when we get to the material plane. I have a chance to start looking at anyone who could possibly make it, enchant it. Oof, where I could even find such a device and whole lot.
Yeah. And now and I think you're not gonna tell Poppy anything about what you discovered about early experiments.
Having said that, if I return back to the index with this book to sit and write, is Poppy anywhere around trying to teach her familiar?
Pop.
She's outside.
She went outside. The only one who went into Lorna was the other one who went into the library.
Mm.
And
Make a
she was in it, and
second
you two went into different sections. So no, nobody knows you read this.
the evil thoughts in.
Actually, you know what? That is one thing I want to try with that index. Given by the way the library has clearly been messing with me for the past day or so, judging by what I did,
Mm-hmm.
there's some level of sentience to this place.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna ask the index, what is the single most valuable book of knowledge that I should be reading in this library right now regarding the Archmages?
Regarding the Archmages,
Yep.
you actually get a question back. From whom's point of view?
Erica's.
The book just closes.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd think it's not going to give an answer. But instead, a ladder comes down in front of you. Do you climb it?
Yep.
You start climbing the ladder. The first step seems easy, but when you take the fifth step, suddenly you're way up higher. And you look down and you see this labyrinth of bookshelves below you going on forever. It is disorientating. And then you look above you and you see a platform at the end of the ladder, only 3 steps further.
Okay. I go for the platform.
On there is a single book. On just a pedestal on a platform.
I'm gonna pick up the book and start reading.
You just read it, and it's very much states what you wanted to learn, and what's probably the most valuable thing to Erica. How to empower or create divine beings.
Okay.
The fact that this book is separated from the library pretty much means that this is very important for Erica. When you think about it, if there's a way to empower divine beings, of course it would be very, very important for Erica's point of view. And also creating divine beings seems also very important to another divine being like herself. So, you want to read it? You enter the first page, and you start reading it. The first page, you just read how the Archmages break down magic in elements, ways of casting, where power originates, and the limits of Mystra, that they wish to break that. And that they believe that the conjunction of the realms, aka the frozen hell tundras, is the way for them to break the chains of Mystra that she put around magic, so that they can learn more, expand their knowledge. It seems that whatever these Archmages, they don't care for consequences. They only care for gathering knowledge and power for the sake of gathering knowledge and power. You wouldn't. They just don't care for morals. They don't care for that. They only care for the results. They're not power hungry. They're not. They just want to know. And that the only reason they have knowledge is to have power, and power is we give them more knowledge, and they want to keep that going. But Mystra is in their way. They want to break those chains. So, and of course, how would they do it? They're looking for ways to create divine beings that could rival Mystra, so to push the chains further. But at the same time, with the conjunction of realms going on, they also need a divine being as a battery to keep other divine beings out. Because if they would attempt this using using Frozen Hill Tundra's break, it would attract Mystra herself. So they need a divine being to keep her out, so they can experiment in peace. So they keep reading and reading and reading, and you keep, and it just gets more and more complex. I need to make a quick Arcana check to see if you can even understand what the hell is going on here, because this is just the explanation of why they did it, but now we get the information of how to do it.
Wow.
24. You try to think it through. It's pretty complex for all kinds of methods. You keep leaving through it. The first method was you've already seen in action. It is a known method in the realms, and that is using Kuatoa to use their messed up ability to create a divine being. And the bigger the concentration of Kuatoa focusing on that being, the more powerful it becomes. You've already seen this with the Mother, so you know this one was a success, but it was also the easiest method. But then
This is probably their battery to do it in peace, yeah.
Yeah, so this was the easiest way of doing it. It's like, just get some Kuatoa, trick them into thinking that there's a godlike being that they can control, a good orderly one, and make it very powerful. And then you get further experiments. You read about a familiar that is linked to a divine being. Oh, that shit again. Oh god, no, this is. Yep, they tried to use that to create a being that would steal the powers of a divine being and become its own divine being in its way. Its experiment has so far only led into failures. As the closest they got, it kind of ticked off the divine being that they were after, which kind of increased their reason to start up the Veil project. But there were still other methods being worked on. And this book doesn't just depict 1 year, it depicts multiple years. Centuries of research on it. So you keep getting more and more. Some believe that there are ways that mortal beings can become divine beings via certain magical items. There are the people that become the aspect and dreams of. Some believe if all prayers are focused on one person of almost a planet, could make that being mortal object another divine being. But you just keep reading it, and you also learn, and then finally, after learning most ways, you read about how to empower them. Kuatoa method, you already know. The other one is creating several objects forged in the purest of silver or the purest of gold, with gems infused with as many souls as you can find, to empower one divine being with even more prayers of the mortal souls constantly flowing into them to keep them empowered. Very dark. Essentially keeping the souls of your believers on you at all times, praying for all eternity. Ugh. The other methods, extreme magical infusion, which hope to break the chains of Mystra, hoping that a divine being with the powers of several thousands of wizards, all casting wish simultaneously to grant the divine being's own wish, would break the chains of Mystra and empower the divine being to be beyond the power of Mystra. That was another theory. It just keeps and there's more methods keep going. Some light, some others almost impossible, and some darker than dark. Heck, some even suggest to have stars be infused into divine beings so that they become the center of a system, and even with multiple stars, the center of a galaxy, so powerful that not even Mystra could resist it. You just notice that these archmages, they're insane. They're willing to sacrifice anything for power and knowledge, or even to just break Mystra. What do you do with it?
I'm gonna attempt to go back down the ladder with the book.
By the way, when you think about it, you just figured out one of the alternative reasons why Erica stayed with the Archmages for so long. She was also interested in gaining power in an easy way. For what reason you don't know, but you do know that she probably stayed to gain more power. Why else would this book be so important? Think about that.
Yeah, they do say judge others by the company you keep.
But it's from your passive insight, by the way. You're not 100% sure, but it's from your passive insight on what you just did. So you go down the ladder, you land back down with the book.
Hang on. Actually, before I go back down, the first day where I dropped those books into my sentient spellbook, it made my attempt at having a copy of that knowledge within the book work.
So what do you want to do with the book exactly?
Okay, day one of this place, when I was swiping books off the shelf into the sentient book, trying to essentially have a copy of the knowledge within the pages.
Mm-hmm.
Did that work?
Do you want to put this book inside your book, or are you guys gonna do that, or are you gonna ask the library if you can do that?
Given how protected this book, you know what? I will ask the library. Given how protected this book was, I can probably guess the answer. I'll ask.
Mm-hmm. What do you ask exactly? I need to know the exact question.
Do I have your permission to make a copy of the knowledge within this book to take with me?
You see the page is open. And he just responds. And the page is just what the words are. There are ways of fate that not even the owner can control. And a second copy of the book appears in front of you. The library has a mind of its own. And even Erica doesn't know that. Doesn't know that this could happen.
I goes very respectfully and reverently place the original copy of the book back where I found it.
Mm-hmm.
And feed the second copy to my own book.
Yeah. So the second copy gets absorbed. Okay. And the knowledge is absorbed. And the book, and that book writes there. Interesting.
I am down the ladder and out the library.
Yeah. You know what your book writes?
What?
The same text the first book below just written to you. The threads of fate do not flow as the owner think it does. The exact wording. Well, not the exact wording, but you know, the exact same meaning. It writes to you as well.
Okay.
Blood faggots.
And you leave. I guess you leave the library and head to the living room.
I'll go straight to whatever passes for a bedroom here. I'm shutting myself in. I'm not going out
Okay.
till the morning.
And I guess with that, the day is done, and we're gonna end it right here on a suspenseful moment.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh.
Maybe next session I'll have to get a new character.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
With that said, if you're charged for joy, please like, subscribe, or whatever your charge is. As I guess the training arc still is going to continue, and I believe our next session will be the last session in the train in this realm. So I don't think there's much to do anymore. With that said, it is goodbye from your Dungeon Master Kotlol. It is goodbye from Poppy.
Bye.
It is goodbye from Ozzius.
Goodbye.
It is goodbye from Alona.
Hi, everyone.
It is goodbye from Lier.
Till next time.
And it's goodbye from Raz. He's not here
Reading
anymore.
is dangerous.
And with that said, we will return next week to finish it all off. And remember, people, there might be even surprises in the most safest of places. Stay charged, and see you next time.